Good evening, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Van Noord Arena, home of the Calvin Knights tonight. A men's basketball matchup between the Alma Scots and your Calvin Knights. My name's Ryan Schumer, a sophomore here on the baseball team, bringing you the play-by-play. Shortly coming, my man, Ryan Shearhart, the man, the myth, the legend, coming in from a lunch run, but be with you here shortly. But nonetheless, exciting game here, MIAA matchup. Implications here for the conference here today. Across the MIAA, Alma 0-5 in the conference, 0-16 so far on the year. The Knights on a very, very hot win streak, I believe 7 or 8 games so far. Recently defeating the Hope Dutchmen down in Holland, away matchup on Wednesday, 65-60 in a match that gave the Dutchmen their first MIAA loss. Now Calvin Trine sitting atop the MIAA, 5-0 for both of them. Trine and Hope facing off today at 3 o'clock. Huge implications for that one. The conference looking at that. Trine and Calvin at the top, followed by Hope in third, Adrian in fourth, tied with Olivet, and Kalamazoo and Albion tied for sixth. Alma at the very bottom, still 0-5, 0-16 on the year. Nonetheless, any MIAA matchup is a huge one. About a minute till tip-off right now. Looking in for the matchup, the Knights, like we said, missing Jalen Overway, though, averaging 33 points versus Alma the past 2 times they showed up last year, especially 42 points last year, a career high for him the last time Alma played here in Van Noord Arena. Really the only team in the MIAA that we saw single cover Jalen Overway. And now joining us here on the broadcast, Ryan Shearhart. How are we doing today, Ryan? A little lunch run for you.
Yeah, fantastic. Full stomach today, so hopefully we won't be talking about food the entire broadcast when we get into those ad reads, but I'm ready for some Calvin Knight basketball here from the home floor. Alma Scots looking to come through and get their first win, right?
Yeah, huge. Obviously, looking at the stat sheet here, Donovan Collins averaging 10.9, Jeremy Rosario 10 points a game. So some scorers that could do some stuff, but there's going to be some guys that have to step up. On the other hand, the Knights have got to play good defense, have got to stay fundamental, even though the Scots still 0-16 on the year. Any MIAA game, huge implications, huge challenge. No team in the MIAA is too big or too small. And folks, now let's go over to PA announcer Jason Fossey and meet today's starting lineups, powered by Garrett's Appliance.
As we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem, performed this afternoon by the Calvin University Pep Band under the direction of Dr. Stephen Suddeth. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome to Van Noord Arena here on the campus of Calvin University for today's MIAA men's basketball matchup featuring the Scots of Alma College and your Calvin Knights. Let's meet the starters from both teams. First up for Alma College, number 3, Donovan Collins. And at forward for your Knights, a 6'5" tall junior from McBain, Michigan, number 1, Trevin Winkle. For Alma, number 21, Jeremy Rosario. At the other forward for the Knights, a 6'7" sophomore from Petoskey, Michigan, number 23, Brady Ewing. For Alma, number 23, Logan St. Martin. At a guard for the Knights, a 6'3" junior from Caledonia, Michigan, number 5, Luca Wrestler. For Alma, number 24, Paul Gaddy. At the other forward for the Knights, a 6'6" junior from Muskegon, Michigan, number 3, Owen Varnado. For Alma, number 32, Rain Radic. And at the other guard for the Knights, a 6'4" tall senior from Huntley, Illinois, number 0, Uchenna Agekeza. The Scots are coached by Mike Fitzpatrick. And your Knights are coached by Bill Saul in his 6th season.
And folks, that's today's starting lineups powered by Garrett's Appliance, offering the latest lineup of top appliances brands at competitive prices. Garrett's Appliance with locations in Kitwood and Wyoming. And folks, that starting lineup, Uchenna Ekekeza, Trevin Winkle, Owen Varnado, Luca Wrestler, Brady Ewing for the Knights, Donovan Collins, Jeremy Rosario, Logan St. Martin, Paul Gaddy, and Rain Radic for the Scots. And Ryan, you know, what do both of these teams coming into this matchup? Obviously, the Scots struggling, the Knights, huge run. What do teams have to come in thinking this game really working on?
Yeah, I think coming in this game, if you're the Scots, knowing that you've struggled this year in Calvin, a pretty successful team, coming off a big win at Hope. If you're the Knights coming into this game, you want to keep riding that high and not play down to the level of your competition here. Can't take this team, like you mentioned, it's a tough conference game. Anytime you're playing anybody in MIAA conference play, you're going to get their best. So you know it's going to be a challenging time to scrap out a victory. So you can't take them for granted. You got to play your brand of basketball. And if you're the Scots, man, go upset the world. Play like you got nothing to lose, a little fire in your butt, and go take a win on the road.
Yeah, totally agree, Ryan. Huge here for the Scots and for the Knights. Obviously sitting at the top of the conference. 7 to shoot here for the Scots. Collins, the leading scorer, passes into the paint. Out Rosario, step back three-pointer. Good as the buzzer goes off. Scots the first to put one on the board.
And a good look right there and knocked down off the step back jumper. Some patience being shown on that first possession by the Scots.
Yeah, patience for sure. And it looks like the Scots will be in a 2-3 zone. Trevin Winkle misses the jumper. And the Knights look a little bit shaken here early, a little bit disoriented. Kickball violation on Luca Wrestler. Scots will retain the ball. Radic to inbound for the Scots, passes into Gaddy. Gaddy into the paint, looking for St. Martin, back out. Gaddy, batted away by Winkle. 12 seconds to shoot. Some great defense here from the Knights, Ryan, really driving down the shot clock here early on. 3 to shoot, back out, three-point try. Good again on the buzzer for Paul Gaddy, and 2 three-point tries right at the buzzer.
And I like that the Scots are knocking down these threes, but they got to get a better shot off earlier in the shot clock. I mean, the step back 3 by Rosario earlier, the knockdown there.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of luck associated with that, Ryan, but Ewing going up and under for the first points of the night for the Knights.
And if you're the Knights, that's exactly what you do. Just got to get the basketball inside. A severe height difference down there between Ewing.
Yeah, Ryan, the Scots sporting a 2-3 zone on defense. Knights ended up struggling a little bit early on last week against Olivet, but ended up coming over that and beating Olivet by around 30 points as Wrestler takes the foul. First foul of the game here today. And that'll be dealt to number 21, Jeremy Rosario, a junior out of Albany, New York. And the lower bowl here at Van Noord, filling out with some students, with some parents. Definitely a little bit less of an environment than the Hope Calvin series, but nonetheless still showing out here as Ewing gets blocked underneath. He's down on the floor. He gets up. Lucky turnover there for the Knights, a 5-on-4. Parker Swartz, Ty Horkey check in here for the Knights. Wrestler and Ewing head off.
And I've loved seeing Ty Horkey, the sharpshooter, the fifth-year transfer from Kalamazoo, get more time here as the season's gone on. Such a lethal weapon for this Calvin Knights team, the way that he can stretch the floor, run the offense, as well as just automatic from behind the arc.
And Varnado from downtown, no good off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound over to Ekekeza. And he said it right there, huge team player. Horkey really able to dish the ball very, very well. Back out, Varnado to Winkle from three, no good. Knights a little bit short from behind the arc today.
A little bit short, but those shots are fall. You know what they say, keep shooting. When you're a hot shooting team, it goes in streaks sometimes, but just got to take that lid off the basket. Man, look at that block from Ekekeza.
Ekekeza gets up there, three-point try from Collins, air ball, no good. Varnado open down the floor, but just a little bit too far for Horkey. Over to Ekekeza, had a shot from three. Schwartz into Varnado in the paint. And the 2-3 defense stumping the Knights a little bit, trying to get in the paint a little bit too much. Looking for the Knights to get hot from behind the arc. Collins with it once again. Over to St. Martin. Radich driving, double-teamed Horkey now. Back out to Collins. Over to Rosario from the corner. No good. Ekekeza controls the ball up the floor, top of the key driving. Out to Winkle. Thought about it. And Ryan, the Knights still seem a little bit disoriented on the offensive half of the ball as Varnado, three-point corner try, good. Maybe a little bit of a good jinx there as Varnado hits down his first.
Yeah, that's what they got to do. Just keep being patient, getting their guys the ball in the right position to be successful. I mean, Varnado there getting it in the corner, and he's automatic from behind the arc.
And that's the second block of the day for Ekekeza.
Another
Varnado
one.
Thought about it from behind the arc, and that'll be a block. Thought it could have been a charge there on Varnado, but a little bit of foot movement given to Rain Radich. We'll have our first media timeout coming in here to the booth. And fans, today's featured Calvin basketball student athlete planning for success honoree is Owen Varnado. He is a forward from Muskegon, Michigan. As a junior, he's an economics major with an emphasis in pre-law. He's a Calvin's Dean's List student, which means holding a grade point average above a 3.5. That's planning for success, presented by Skipper and Ospring Wealth Management, providing financial clarity, solutions, and service that allow you to focus on what you care about most. And Ryan, I really think even if we didn't have that media timeout, a timeout from Coach Bill Saul might have been coming in the next few minutes. Obviously, the Knights kind of coming out a little bit slow. Makes sense coming off that huge Hope win. Obviously, a little bit less of an environment, but you got to come out ready to play.
Yeah, the offense looking a little discombobulated, and we talked about this. This was exactly what you couldn't do. The Knights are kind of playing down to the Scots level right here. They're not playing their brand of basketball. They're not spacing the floor well. They're getting sped up. They're slowing down at times. They need to just get to their spot on the floor, spot up, get their shooters the basketball in places where they can be successful. Like we saw with Varnado getting to the corner. He got that bucket underneath, getting Ewing to the spot, able to go up, take advantage of that height differential. Just play their brand of basketball, play within their offensive system, and good things will happen.
You said it right there, good things will happen. The Knights trailing by one still. Trip Riemersma into the game for the Knights. Horkey driving, and then Varnado alley-oop! Oh my!
Bringing the house down there. I mean, good things will happen when you throw the ball up to Owen Varnado as well.
And wide open down the baseline. How do you miss that if you're a Scot? And that is one thing that will get this Knights offense rolling, is an Owen Varnado emphasis killer right there, as the Scots able to knock down a three-point try. So all their 9 points right now coming from behind the arc. So, man, if I'm a Scot, just let it fly. Riemersma behind the arc.
Fly.
No good. The Knights just short right now. Pretty much every three-point try but the Varnado make has been short off the front of the rim. Knights trailing by 2. Josh Bradley passes over St. Martin. Guarded by Ekekeza. A little bit of a weak foul there. What are your thoughts, Ryan? Bradley the freshman to inbound out of Saginaw, Michigan. Schwartz with the steal.
Nice takeaway there. Good anticipation there by Schwartz to use those long levers and take that one away.
And Ekekeza goes up hard, no foul.
I don't know how that, there was definitely some contact on that take by Ekekeza, but Horky for three, come on.
And another offensive rebound, Riemersma, possibly a jump ball. And yes, it will be. And Varnado had a try from three. That'll be headed the Scots' way, but nonetheless, the Knights, a lot of offensive rebounds. They can keep that up. Huge. More attempted shots is always a good thing. Rosario looking to check back in here for the Scots. Bradley, the freshman, with it. Driving against Horky and Schwartz. Lays off the glass and in.
And a nice little scoop finish there.
Yeah, very nice. Horky picks up his dribble over to Varnado. Knights still playing quick with it. Riemersma on the left wing. Ekekeza now over to Horky. 16 seconds to shoot. Riemersma into Varnado. Right where they want it. Out to Schwartz. Thought about it. Step back behind the arc. Good.
Boom.
And Parker Schwartz really coming alive that Hope game, Ryan. Really kind of over this Christmas break has cooled off, but nonetheless, I believe near 20 or over 20 points at the Hope game. I wasn't at the stats table. 19 points there at the Hope game, but really coming alive here, clutch in Holland.
Yeah, and I think that game was good for his confidence. We all know he's capable of scoring the basketball. Such a skilled player, can score the basketball in a variety of ways within that 6'7" frame. So I think that was good. Possibly a game we can see might have broken him out of that cold spell he's been in, scoring the basketball.
Yeah, huge as he fires from behind the arc again. Good. And Parker Schwartz. Stay hot, let it fly.
Stay hot, big fella. Keep feeding him.
And you said it right there. Huge for the confidence there. He has 6 already.
Big fella's got to eat.
Oh, yeah. Bradley driving now. Pass out. Over to Elliott. Collins been quiet so far. Step back. Passing out. 9 seconds to shoot. The Knights have done well. Drawing it out to the bottom of the shot clock. Falling now. 3 seconds to shoot. And throwing up a shot at the buzzer and in. And this is amazing what the Scots have been able to do so far. Really driving it down to the very bottom of the shot clock. Ekekeza and one. And trading falling shots both ways. I don't know how these shots are going in, but throw up anything at this point.
Man, are we in the circus? Because we're deep in the bag of tricks right now. Holy cow.
Wow. Ekekeza flying, spinning, throws it off the glass, trying to draw the foul, and he'll get the and one opportunity. His first points on the afternoon. Dane Harvey checks in, as well as Winkle re-enters the game. Ekekeza good for the and one. Wrestler checks back in.
I believe the first lead of the game now for the Calvin Knights.
And that seems to be kind of be a theme this year for the Knights, especially in the MIAA, that we've been able to see, Ryan, is starting out kind of slow. We saw it in the Olivet game. And then right here, allowing the Scots to get an early lead and then getting hot from behind the arc. Three-point try, no. Jumper try, blocked by Schwartz. Schwartz feeling good. Pass over to Wrestler from three. Thought it was good. Harvey. Tip out, good. Three-point try from Ty Horky.
The sharpshooter at it again.
And those offensive rebounds are gonna be huge for the Knights. Obviously a little bit cold here to start the game, but the more opportunities that you can have, the better chances you're gonna have at putting ball in the bucket. Radich driving. Schwartz, another block using his range. And he's feeling good today. Wrestler, baseline, pass into Winkle. Looking to pass out, Wrestler now. Harvey, Horky, backdoor cut Wrestler, jump shot, just short. Knights still lead by 4, but really some impeccable ball movement right there from the Knights.
Good ball movement, got to the spot, but unable to finish was Wrestler.
Garazi into the game. earlier for the Knights. Passes over to Radic. And another steal, this time to Dane Harvey. And the Knights locking down on defense. Multiple turnovers for the Scots. Harvey with it, 19 to shoot. Schwartz over to Horky, deep try, downtown, good!
Dang!
Ty Horky, statement from 3, and that'll be a media timeout. And as we were saying from the last broadcast at Olivet, that might have been from Ann's house. That was deep downtown.
He might have shot that one from Anna's house. You were right. From way on there, almost on the MIAA logo out there, how deep you let that one fly from.
He's definitely feeling it. The Knights are definitely feeling it from behind the arc today. Horky and Parker Schwartz with 6, Varnado with 5, and Ekekeza with 3 so far. And folks, Around the MIAA is brought to you by NAI Wyszynski, West Michigan. West Michigan's largest independently owned commercial real estate firm. Today's men's schedule has Adrian at Olivet, 3 o'clock, Kalamazoo at Albion, also at 3 o'clock, and Hope at Trine, also at 3 o'clock. And Ryan, I mentioned it earlier, I'm not sure if you were on with me yet, at the very beginning of the broadcast, huge implications in that Hope at Trine game. If Hope is able to take that one away, it could be huge for the Knights in terms of the standings. If Trine gets defeated by Hope, really the Knights are sitting alone atop the MIAA. If Trine is able to beat Hope, then the Knights and Trine will both have a 2-game lead on anybody in the rest of the conference. So huge implications here, knock on wood, as long as the Knights are able to win today. And looking down at the stat sheets, both teams shooting very well. The Scots 50% from the field, the Knights 44%. Both teams shooting at a very high stripe. The Scots, though, already 4 turnovers.
Yeah, already 4 turnovers from the Scots, and that shooting just continuing to decrease their shooting percentage. They got to get some more quality looks and get going, especially with the way that the Knights are heating up from behind the arc.
Yeah, you said it right there. And really those first 3 three-point tries for the Scots that all went in kind of felt like almost a pure shot of luck there, Ryan. It was everybody on the Knights bench calling for it out right now. 5 seconds to shoot. Knights have been driving down, just throwing it up at the buzzer. Almost in again.
Throwing up a prayer there from behind the arc.
And really, it seemed like that the entirety of the game as the Scots are getting down to that 5 seconds on the shot clock, throwing up a prayer. And just like that one almost did, it seems like they're going in for the most part. Winkle now at the line. Knights lead by 7. And folks, today's first half is brought to you by Skipper and O-Strength Wealth Management, partnering with you to help unlock your financial potential and build your legacy. And Winkle 1 for 2 from the line. Knights lead by 8. Halfway through half number 1, a little bit of a less than perfect scoring half for both of these squads, but definitely shooting at a high stripe. Radic driving once again. Another possible steal. Scott's on the floor. Harvey gets the steal, headed the other way. Horky pump fake over to Wrestler, and Wrestler tackled. Let's see if he's okay. And a hard contact foul here as Varnado, Ekekeza, and Ewing head into the game for the Knights. Horky, Harvey, and Schwartz check off. And looking at all these subs, Ryan, the Knights have depth. They have a lot of potential from the bench. 9, 10 guys, almost full line changes at times.
Yeah, there's a lot of different weapons on this Calvin Knights team that can do a lot of different things. It's almost like a big puzzle, not knowing what piece you need to guard when you're trying to match up against these Knights, because they can beat you from inside, outside, and the parking lot when Horky's out there.
Yeah, for sure, Ryan. I don't know how Coach Bill Saul does it. So much talent on this Knights squad, and trying to get a decent amount of playing time for everybody, and really just a great job, does a great job at keeping everybody fresh. And thought Trevin Winkle had all ball there, but a foul call as the freshman Josh Bradley heads to the line.
2 shots for Bradley.
It'll be Winkle's first. And the freshman knocks down his first. Knights lead down to 7. Bradley 2 for 2 from the stripe. Gonna be huge, especially if one or two of these teams can end up hitting at a high percentage from the free throw line. Not a lot of fouls so far. Knights almost in the single bonus. Varnado driving in the paint, looking for a kick out. Finds Winkle down below, 12 seconds to shoot. Varnado driving once again out to Ewing. Varnado, 7 seconds to shoot. Driving, left hand spinning, blocked. 2 seconds to shoot. Trevin Winkle up and under. And almost just scoop running in. And a loose ball at the bottom of the pile, but Winkle ends up with it. No hassle. Up and under, just scoop layup.
Very fortunate sequence of events there. Look what I found.
Yeah, for sure, Ryan. And Bradley trying to find an answer for the Scots. Kicks out to Garazi. Steal from Ekakeza. Heading down. Puts it in with some contact at the rim. Ekakeza now with 5.
So strong and so good in the lane. Uchenna Ekakeza, a fantastic talent in transition.
And really, Ryan, see Uchenna Ekakeza, I know he's above 1,000 points, but just a huge point scorer and assist leader and defensive player, 2-time defensive player of the year in the MIAA here for the Knights. And really all of his points coming in hard, attempted shots in the paint. Varnado, backdoor cut to Winkle, foul on the shot. Winkle looking to put these ones in, an immediate timeout again. And folks, if you're on a quest to find the best breakfast place near you, your search ends here at Anna's House. Discover how Anna's House is saving the world from an ordinary breakfast by visiting any of our 12 restaurants across Michigan. And I know you tried that this morning. You know, would you like to give the viewers at home a little bit of a, maybe an experience that you'll experience at Anna's House?
Well, sure. I mean, while we're on the topic of food, you know, I love to discuss it. I got this like Twilight French toast thing. And it was really good. Had some berries on there. Had a little I think it was supposed to be like a creme brulee sauce on it, and so it was really good. Got a side of bacon and a water, so fantastic.
Yeah, I know we didn't really get a setting from you. I feel like I wasn't really in the moment, but yeah. I feel like I could still taste.
Wonderful vibe inside there. Very modern feel to it. Some white, some green, some nice colors. But no, I really do recommend Anna's House, and I also do recommend these Alma Scots get something going offensively, because man, Ryan, they've gone cold.
Yeah, they have. Obviously, the Knights playing a lot of great defense. I haven't had a chance to look at the stat sheet. It says 6 turnovers, but a lot of those blocks, we've had steals. Nonetheless, the Scots are not scoring how they should be scoring right now. It says they're shooting at a 50% clip, but that's really only because they've only attempted 14 shots. And the Knights have been playing immaculate defense on their end. Parker Swartz, Dane Harvey, steals, blocked shots, huge. And most of these Alma Scots points are really just Hail Mary prayers at the buzzer.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them knock down several tough shots really early on, but that luck has seemed to fade, and with that, the lead has grown for the Calvin Knights.
And the Knights, we talked about it, they have got to keep the foot on the gas pedal. Really, when it comes down to MIAA play, can't focus on wins, losses, who's at the bottom, who's at the top. You just got to go out there, play to win every single time. And Trevin Winkle knocks down his first, looking to grow the lead to double digits, and he does so. 2 for 2 from the stripe. Full court press from the Knights. Ekakeza almost a steal there. Collins passing forward to Judson. Collins over to Bradley. Left wing, 18 to shoot. Bradley guarded by Ekakeza, top of the key. letting the clock run down a little bit. 10 seconds to shoot. Out in the corner to Judson, three-point try, no good. Parker Schwartz to check back in for the Knights on the next dead ball. A long.
Varnado, another one.
And letting it fly, Owen Varnado. He's up to 8 on the afternoon, taking over the leading scorer title for the Knights. Thought about it from 3 was Garazzi. Three-point try, Rosario, bank shot. And sir, I didn't know the bank was open on Saturdays.
Man, I'll tell you what, when these Scots have gotten buckets, it's not been the prettiest of sorts, but hey, they don't tell you that you banked it in the book.
I'd rather be lucky than good, Ryan, and that's the Scots right now. 10 points as Ewing, mid-range jumper, good. Adding his first points of the afternoon.
But I will tell you, it doesn't get much prettier than that. At least a little mid-range J there from Ewing.
Yeah, very beautiful. Three-point try from Collins, no good. Tipped out rebound, Wrestler. Ekekeza going up for it a little bit far. Is the pass from Wrestler and out, and that'll be a turnover on the Knights. Mike Morris checks in along with Parker Schwartz. Ewing and Winkle check out. And Winkle, a very quiet 5 points so far, Ryan. Bradley kicks over to St. Martin. Scott's trying to get some ball movement, still running the shot clock down very, very low in each possession. Bradley kicking it around. Rosario over to the corner. Driving is Smyers, turnover. Varnado to Ekekeza, 5 to play. Morris over to Varnado. Driving, spinning in the paint, double teamed. No foul there, out on the Scots though. Trip Remersma
The
and Ty
sharpshooter
Horkey
back in the game.
Ty Horkey back in the game for the Knights. Ekekeza and Wrestler check off. Knights lead grows to 12. Schwartz, the inbound into Varnado. Still in that 2-3 zone, out to Morris.
Triple try.
No good from the top of the key. Rosario guarded by Remersma. The lefty for the Scots. Collins over to Bradley. A little bit of extension on Horkey. Backdoor stolen from Schwartz in transition now. 4.5 to shoot. Back out to Horkey from 3. That one no good. Looked good out of the hand. And the Scots heading the other way. Game picking up a little bit in terms of pace. Bradley, top of the key to St. Martin. Back over to Bradley, 16 to shoot. Bradley out. Smyers, 9 to shoot. Long try from Rosario, way off the backboard. And Morris turns around. And an easy bucket for the Scots. Horkey with it, passes over to Varnado. Had an opportunity, drives lane, lays off the glass, no good. Scots in transition. Collins driving, up and under, blocked from Schwartz once again. Remersma forward to Horkey. And Varnado thought he had another jam and mauled at the rim. That'll be 2 shots at the line. And another opportunity there, possibly for an alley-oop jam, but just getting tipped before it got to Varnado, as he's still our leading scorer so far with 8. Parker Schwartz with 6. Ty Horkey also with 6. Ekekeza with 5. And Ewing with 4. And folks, stay tuned for today's halftime, driven by Applied Innovation. We'll get you caught up on today's game stats, and you'll hear all about all the exciting aspects happening at Calvin University. That's today's halftime show, driven by Applied Innovation, practical advice, cutting-edge technology to drive your business forward. And Ryan, let's go to Coach Ryan in the booth. What would you tell both of these teams? Obviously, Scots got to get hot here at the end. The Knights got to close out on a high note.
Yeah, I mean, the Knights there, like you saw, that mental error that led to the Scots just picking up a cheap one. And when an offense is struggling, the way that these Scots are struggling to get something going offensively, you just got to take care of the basketball. Can't make mental errors like that and give them free points, free chances, and free opportunities to get some momentum going. You just got to keep the momentum on your side. It's so hard to win basketball games on the road in this division. And if you're the Scots, man, oh man, we can't keep shooting fadeaway jump shots at the end of the shot clock if we want to be successful and beat a team of this caliber.
Yeah, you know, they must have said their prayers a lot last night, Ryan, because they have been making a lot of Hail Mary shots at the buzzer. We talked about it, step back three-pointer, fadeaway three-pointer, pretty much anything from behind the arc is going in, so you might as well throw up an opportunity. Varnado looking to possibly get in double digits here with these free throws. 3:18 left to play. He knocks down his first. Knights in the single bonus right now. Only 2 fouls for the Knights across the entirety of half number 1, Ryan. Huge, especially. Seems to be a very physical game. Varnado into double digits now, knocking down 2 for 2 from the stripe. Radic, guarded by Horky, passes over to Gaddy. Harvey and Ekekeza looking to check back in. Next bet, dead ball. Elliott over to Collins. Gaddy back to Collins. Collins 9 to shoot. Backdoor cut. Up and under good for the Scots.
And that's a great, great possession for the Scots out of a timeout.
Yeah, very great read. Definitely a set piece for the Scots. Swartz with it, right wing. 20 to shoot. Backdoor cut from Riemersma. Seems like his hands got tied a little bit behind the back. Morris checks off along with Riemersma. 2.5 left to play. The Knights have got to keep this lead at double digits to head into halftime with a comfortable lead.
Make that 5 turnovers now for the Knights, 2 of which happened within the last couple minutes.
Yeah, just got to keep the ball as a prize on the offensive half of the ball. Offensive rebound for the Scots. Loose ball still, and possibly a jump ball.
Fumble.
Fumble Ruski on the field, Ryan, and that one not recovered by either team. It'll head the way of the Knights. Now that would be an interesting rule change, Ryan. Don't know who has it at the bottom of the pile. We put a jump ball in football. See how that'll change things. Horky drives to the basket, and we'll have another jump ball, this time headed back the Scots way, and just trading jump balls at this point. Knights still lead by 10. Coach Saul getting a little bit of frustration brewing here on the Knights sideline. Getting cold from the field a little bit. Up and under shot fake. Owen Varnado flies.
And a nice move right there, getting inside Rain Roddick.
Yeah, huge. Ekekeza drives, floater.
Anything you can do, I can do better, Uchenna Ekekeza says.
And Ekekeza so good under the basket like that. He's up to 7 on the afternoon. Radic poked away by Swartz on the floor. Varnado steal. 1.5 left to play. Horky in transition. Swartz, 3-point try. Good! And Swartz.
Stay hot,
from 3. 9 on the afternoon, all from behind the arc. And man, feed the hot hand. Scots now top of the key, moving the ball around the perimeter well. Collins with it. 14 to shoot, step back 3, good. And Collins step back 3. What is with these step backs? Are we practicing these a lot in practice over there in Alma?
I'm not sure.
Ekekeza wide open, good! Nothing but net from Uchenna Ekekeza.
He really likes that saying, anything you can do, I can do better. Inside, outside. Maybe from Anna's house next. Maybe he's hungry, needs to grab a snack.
Might as well. And backdoor cut here And a lot of backdoor basket cuts here for the Scots, working very well so far. 11 to shoot, no shot clock. Porky with the ball, 18, driving the clock down to around 10. Knights getting a set play set up. Porky, floater, unable to put that one in. 5 to shoot. Scots with an opportunity. Driving is Radich. 3-point try at the buzzer. Good!
I mean, a step back three, of course it's going to go in,
and
right?
Josh Elliott puts it in right at the buzzer. And if any shot was going to go in, it was going to be a 3-point try for these Scots. And only 8 is your lead for the Knights. Obviously, the Scots leading for about the first 5 minutes or so. Knights taking over, but the Scots a little bit of run at the very end there. 44-36 is your score at halftime. And just an interesting half there, Ryan. We saw a lot of turnovers, a lot of breakdowns on defense, and some very hot behind the arc shooting.
Yeah, a bit of a bizarre ending there. I mean, a couple of floaters, couple of three-pointers, and then that buzzer beater at the end to bring it under a 10-point game. But excited to kind of see what this second half entails.
Yeah, really excited to see Parker Swartz hopefully shoot a little bit more from behind the arc. I believe 3 for 3 so far. And folks, our halftime stats are brought to you by Mercantile Bank, home of Merc Perks Plus checking and Merc Start account. And the halftime stats, Alma Scott shooting 53-54%. The Knights exactly 50%. Coin toss from the field. Both teams a lot of turnovers. Knights at 6, Scots at 10. And looking at the rebounds, both teams at 14. Not a lot of offensive rebounds for either.
And I tell you what, it's also very rare that you go into halftime and both teams are shooting over 50% from the field. I mean, the Scots shooting 53.8% as well as the Knights shooting exactly 50. And both teams put on a performance from behind the arc. 46.2% from behind the arc for the Scots and 47.1% from deep for the Calvin Knights. So some very good shooting.
Yeah, looking forward to second half action. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes, but looking possibly triple-digit game here. I'm knocking on wood. I don't want to jinx any of that, but nonetheless, we'll be back with you guys in about 10 minutes.
I've wanted to be a teacher since I was in preschool. As a teacher, I know that I am called to not only make an impact on the students that I teach, but to help them come up with creative solutions to be change agents themselves that Calvin has instilled in me to be an agent of renewal in this world. And how can they help be a problem solver? How can they creatively come up with solutions to better not only the space that they are involved in, but the space that others are involved in.
I love the NABE Scholarship Program because I just love how personal these scholarships are for the alumni and for the students. Being a student who grew up in foster care and then getting a scholarship for students who were in foster care and being able to connect with that donor and see the love and the passion that they have for me and being able to resonate with me and what I've gone through. God opened doors that I didn't even know were there. I'm at Calvin and my legacy is starting here.
This is the Gainey Track and Field Complex. There are innovative features that set Calvin's facilities apart from other universities. First, the space joins a small number of dedicated track and field facilities in NCAA Division III. This means that we don't share with football, lacrosse, soccer, any other team. Our throwing facility is adjacent to the main track. Everything is right here in one location. It's all about track and field all the time.
The best part of grad school would be the connections that you make, not only with your cohort, but with the professors as well.
I felt very supported and I don't feel alone in the program.
I just really feel like each individual in the program gets a relationship with the professors in a different way that's meaningful to them and is more geared to them.
I'm a grad student at Calvin University. Yay! Okay.
Your unique needs.
In its most simple sort of definition, metrology is the science of measurement, which is simple in stating, but actually is very complex in terms of actually accomplishing. The GPS, it shows that I'm sitting in the living room within 6 feet of where I am. That measurement requires us to measure time to within a billionth of a second. The ability to measure something well gives you a level of trust in what's happening in the world. You trust that when you go to the gas station and you buy a gallon of gas, it's actually a gallon. That level of trust allows you to understand the world and to function. So I got my math and physics degree from Calvin, went on to graduate school in Maryland, and then postdoc to Johns Hopkins Medical School, and then got my job at what was then the National Bureau of Standards and became the National Institute of Standards and Technology. So I've held a lot of different positions at NIST. Started as a bench scientist, worked my way up through management chain, eventually became acting director for a while between administrations, and now I am the chief metrologist. So I am the person who's supposed to be watching over the core measurement program of the National Institute of Standards and Technology. It's a great privilege to interact with people from around the world, literally from many, many, many different countries. And you can see that we're all God's people. We're all working towards a universal goal. In 2018, we redefined the International System of Units. It was a major change. 67 countries that had signed the Treaty of the Meter all agreed unanimously to make the change. It's not very often you find that sort of agreement amongst the countries of the world these days, but it is good to see that people are people. As I get older and I'm sort of fading into the end of my career, what's really rewarding is to see the projects that I had a hand in starting, sometimes a decade or more ago, where a scientist came to me and said, I have an idea, and I was able to put a little bit of resources towards it, and then to see how those things have now blossomed into just truly amazing developments and advances. Well, certainly the science and math classes prepared me for my career technically, but I think the liberal arts part of the Calvin education prepared me in a lot of ways that I didn't expect as a scientist, sort of to be able to think through a problem very carefully and objectively in terms of defining what the problem really is and where we wanted to go with it. And of course, my faith that God is in control has been very important. I didn't plan to end up where I ended up. In fact, there were lots of times in my career where opportunities presented themselves and I wasn't sure I even wanted to do it. But I could see that God had put this opportunity in my path, so I decided I would go for it, and if it happened, then that meant God wanted me to do it. But I actually think there's something involved in measurements and in metrology that's very biblical. There's a lot of references in the Bible to fair trade and fair measurements and being fair to people. The fact is, there is a good answer to most technical questions, and you can trust it. And it's because God made the universe the way He did. So the more you probe it, the more you measure it, the more you understand it, the more you appreciate the beauty of it. And it really just makes it clear that God created everything, and He did it very precisely.
The mission statement of our program is building champions for life. And I truly mean that when I say that. To me, there's two types of programs. There's transactional and there's transformational. And we are building a transformational football program here because we want our young men to leave prepared for the rest of their lives. And so when we talk about being champions, we talk about 4 different areas: in the classroom, in the community, on the field, and then champions of our faith. And all 4 pieces are so important to what we're doing.
My name is Nate Napper. I'm a 2008 graduate of Calvin University, and I'm currently a special agent with the FBI. I'm also an attorney, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Joseph Project. I'm of the opinion that there is no reason why every single human trafficking survivor in need of legal services shouldn't be given those services free of charge. And the idea was to connect them with pro bono legal help so that they could resolve that legal collateral damage and move forward into a brighter future. I've always resonated with the idea that we could be agents of renewal, right? That we could work and cooperate alongside the vision that God has for the world. If you're willing to submit to His path in obedience, dream the dreams that He would have you enact for the world, I think that you'll go places that you would never imagine going.
This year has definitely changed my world. I'm making an impact here. It feels good to know every day that I'm growing in my abilities that I love, which is film, and I'm also growing as a believer in faith.
I'm really thankful that I was able to do work in my field during school, at school, and that has given me the confidence to move forward with doing my own independent work and getting to put my foot in that door before I even graduate. I don't think I would have found elsewhere.
At Calvin, our faith in God and pursuit of excellence drives us. Our new soccer stadium reflects that commitment, offering a premier space for our student athletes to compete on and off the field. Whether you're an athlete, a summer camper, or a spectator, join our community of Knights at Calvin University.
Join the next generation of global business leaders at Calvin University School of Business, offering 8 undergraduate majors and 2 master's degrees, and exceptional faculty with real-world experience who will partner with you and guide you along the way, and opportunities to participate in internships, study abroad programs, and hands-on learning experiences. This is Calvin University School of Business. Your future begins here.
I love working downtown Grand Rapids, being able to go to class and then come here and do work where the theory that I learned in the classroom really did apply.
I think the Calvin interns, they have this well-balanced background, right? I also think that Calvin does a really nice job preparing them in communication.
I think the Calvin network is phenomenal, and that is a huge help of making me feel comfortable knowing that my education is preparing me super well for the rest of my life. So knowing that I can see people being successful in their lives who went through the same educational system as me is very encouraging.
Where will the next revolutionary idea come from? That next breakthrough in scientific research? At Calvin University, you can dream bigger, think deeper, aim higher. Our world-class faculty push students to keep asking hard questions and never settle for the status quo. Become part of a university that challenges students to go beyond as Christ's agents of renewal in the world. Calvin University, go beyond.
I've wanted to be a teacher since I was in preschool. As a teacher, I know that I am called to not only make an impact on the students that I teach, but to help them come up with creative solutions to be change agents themselves, that Calvin has instilled in me to be an agent of renewal in this world. And how can they help be a problem solver? How can they creatively come up with solutions to better not only the space that they are involved in, but the space that others are involved in as well?
I love the NABE scholarship program because I just love how personal these scholarships are for the alumni and for the students. Being a student who grew up in foster care and then getting a scholarship for students who were in foster care and being able to connect with that donor and see the love and the passion that they have for me and being able to resonate with me and what I've gone through. God opened doors that I didn't even know were there. I'm at Calvin and my legacy is starting here.
This is the Gainey Track and Field Complex. There are innovative features that set Calvin's facilities apart from other universities. First, the space joins a small number of dedicated track and field facilities in NCAA Division III. This means that we don't share with football, lacrosse, soccer, any other team. Our throwing facility is adjacent to the main track.
Folks, to
everything is right here in one location. It's all about track and field all the time.
Alma Scots trailing the Knights by 8 so far, 44-36. Explosive first half in terms of offense. And the Knights playing a lot of great defense, but the Scots really kind of just throwing up the Hail Mary prayers, but knocking down them, all of those shots nonetheless. Both teams shooting above 50% from the field. Those stats were brought to you by Mercantile Bank. Ryan, what do both of these teams need to come out of halftime? Just come out with the energy, come out with the passion, but really more specifically from a little bit more of a basketball worldview. You know, what did both of these teams need to do?
I think the Scots just need to focus on whatever they did that last minute and a half there and rallied up points, getting buckets inside, outside, and really just giving these Knights some fits at the defensive end for those last minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then the exciting buzzer beater, whatever that was. Let's keep that going, and then for the Knights, just keep scoring the basketball inside and getting the basketball inside, open up those shots on the outside and knock them down and keep that hot shooting going.
And it really seemed like the Scots looking for more of those backdoor cuts against the Knights. They were finding lanes, they were finding openings, and it was opening up pieces on the outside there at the last 2-3 minutes. A lot less shots going down to the buzzer, more open look three-point tries, and a lot of backdoor cuts resulting in wide open layups. 30 seconds left at halftime, but both teams out. Let's see if we'll start a little bit early. Looking forward to some exciting basketball. Not sure of the scorers around the league, but definitely some playoff implications already across the MIAA. The Knights on an 8-game win streak, recently defeating the Hope Dutchmen at home, or at Hope, excuse me, 65-60. Both Ryan and Ryan were at the game. A very ferocious environment, but nonetheless very good. The Knights coming out with the win there.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to win on the road in this conference, let alone win in Holland, Michigan when you're wearing the color maroon.
100% Ryan. Varnado driving, kicks out to Wrestler. Still in the 2-3 zone, and one for Ekekeza. Off the glass and in. And he'll be up to 10 so far, tying Owen Varnado for the title leading scorer. And excuse me, that'll be 12 for Uchenna Ekekeza.
And he's so good at finishing through contact. It almost feels like when he's going up for a layup and he gets hit, he's hitting the defender first.
Yeah. And definitely plays to the contact. Uchenna Ekekeza as he knocks down the and one opportunity, lead back to 11. Trying to erase that buzzer beater 3-point try at the very end of the first half. Rosario driving, fadeaway, no good. Jumper just a little bit too far. Wrestler, pass out to Ewing. Shot fake behind, back out to Varnado. Had a wide open look. Would have loved to see him have the confidence to shoot that one from behind the arc, and a turnover from Varnado. Miscommunication between Varnado and Winkle. 3-point try from Gaddy, no good. Both teams unable to put much in for the first minute. Ekekeza passing over to Winkle. Varnado with it, looking to get the ball inside. Corner to Ekekeza, driving up off the glass. Foul, and held to the line for 2 shots. And Uchenna Ekekeza stacking them up early here.
Yeah, Chen able to get to the free throw line at ease, it seems like, just able to get to the basket.
And that's just
generate some contact.
And Ryan, that's just a huge part of Uchenna Ekekeza's game, is going up, getting the hard foul. And a lot of those times he's able to play through contact and put it in for the and one opportunity. This time, not one of those tries as he'll knock down the first one. That foul was dished out to Logan St. Martin, the sophomore out of Kalamazoo. Ekekeza looking to knock down his second. Able to do so. Ekekeza, generally a very, very good free throw shooter, up to 15 points on the afternoon so far. The Scots trying to get some things going on the offense in this second half. St. Martin driving, lays off, and heads off the front of the rim. Varnado fighting with the ball. And that one will be off a Wrestler. Both Varnado and Rosario not giving up as they were both falling out of bounds. Knights lead by 13. Collins kick out to the corner. Gaddy, good. Corner 3, and the Alma Scots their first points of the second half.
And it just seems as though the Scots are doing just enough, Ryan, to stay in this game.
Yeah, it seems like really any drive and possession that they really, really need points, seems like they're able to throw up a 3-point try. Varnado at the top of the key, wide open. Winkle goes up against contact, gets the rebound. Ekekeza, floater, no good. And a little bit of a bunny there for Uchenna Ekekeza. Not like Chen to miss those short shots. Way off from Collins. Rebound, Wrestler with it in transition. Hand off to Winkle, thought about it. Varnado downtown, no good. And huge for Owen Varnado to shoot with that confidence out there from behind the arc. Parker Swartz to check in with the next dead ball. Donovan Collins with it, guarded by Ekekeza, top of the key. Pass over to Rosario, 3-point from the corner. No good. Varnado down one-on-one. And a travel on Owen Varnado.
Rare mistake there in transition by Owen Varnado.
Yeah, very rare indeed. Brady Ewing comes off. Knights lead still 10. Both teams kind of spinning their tires a little bit, trying to get going on the offensive half of the ball. Knights 5 points, Scots 3 points in half number 2 so far. Almost stuck in the snow here at Van Noord. Second half, backdoor cut and a block as Collins goes up for it on the back door. Huge there for Owen Varnado. Wrestler, shot fake, driving, backdoor cut for Winkle, up and under, good. Beautiful basket cut for Trevin Winkle.
Nice job there by Winkle to fill the lane, and a nice find from Wrestler.
Yeah, huge there from Wrestler, Winkle, the duo. Scott's looking to strike back, 16 to shoot. Radich, pass out to Gaddy. Rosario driving, left-hand tri-floater, and one good. And Rosario, just a fadeaway merchant here on the floor. Dane Harvey, Ty Horkey into the game for the Knights. Varnado and Wrestler head off. That one will go to Trevin Winkle. That'll be his second on the afternoon. And folks, today's broadcast is brought to you by Skipper and O-Strength Wealth Management, providing personal financial strategies tailored to your goals and lifestyles. Rosario, and one is good. Single digits is the lead for the Knights. And full court press here for the Scots. Ryan, would you like to see the Scots get out of the man-to-man 2-3 defense, maybe try something else, a 1-3-1, and a steal there from Rosario?
You know, I don't think that's the issue right now on the defensive end is Parker Schwartz.
Wow.
Sent that one into the cheap seats, but I think it's just getting a consistent offensive rhythm going. It's moments of hot and moments of not.
Totally agree, Ryan. And time now for this month in Calvin sports history, presented by Applied Innovation. Today we highlight the 1990 Calvin men's basketball team that captured the MIAA regular season titles and later became the first team in program history to reach the Final Four of the NCAA Division III tournament. The 1990 Calvin men's basketball team, led by Coach Ed Duma, finished 28-3 overall. This month in Calvin sports history is presented by Applied Innovation, connecting Calvin alums for 35 years. And Ryan, the Knights and the Scots both trying to get things going in terms of offense. In the second half, the Scots shooting 22%, the Knights 40, but not a lot of shots so far for the Knights. Already 3 turnovers in half number 2.
Yeah, definitely not taking care of the basketball. We saw that rare mistake in transition by Owen Varnado, almost playing a little bit too fast, but we mentioned these Scots have not gone away yet. Although the cold shooting start here, they've knocked down the important jump shots when they've needed to keep themselves within 10. I mean, one run in this game looked completely different.
Yeah, 100%, Ryan. It seems like every shot that needed to be made has been made for the Scots. Really kind of those shots where the Calvin Knights, the next possession could go up 12, 14, 15, 16. The Scots are keeping it around that 10 deficit right now, right in striking range. Like he said, just a quick run, and the Scots are even with the Knights. Inbound to Gaddy, posting up, Heitzman. And a shot there short, Winkle gets the rebound. Ekekeza in transition, driving to the basket, goes up, off the glass, and in Ekekeza through contact.
He's been so impressive scoring the basketball today.
Very impressive indeed, and a lot of the times he's usually sitting around that 10-point margin, Ryan, but huge on the defense. Obviously, we've mentioned before, 2-time defensive player, MIAA Defensive Player of the Year, is able to reject the shot there. Hands up, not drawing the foul as he heads the other way. Harvey now back out, assist to Winkle possibly. Good from behind the arc, and Winkle very quiet here tonight, but nonetheless up to 10 points. And Trevin Winkle, a very, very quiet 10 points for him so far. and hits from behind the arc.
And he's just that kind of guy. We talked to Coach Saul in that interview. Trevin Winkle is in double figures more often than not.
And a very unnoticeable double figures, but nonetheless very essential for the Knights. 3 to shoot. Rosario throws up a last chance ditch effort, but Schwartz fouls him, and that'll be 3 shots on the line. Schwartz will pick up his first.
Foul number 2, Parker Schwartz, that's his first.
Schwartz looking to get into double figures
3 shots for Rosario.
as well, still sitting at the 9 points. All of those coming from downtown. Rosario, his first shot of 3 is good. And Ryan, just not a smart foul there. Just, you can't foul within the last few seconds of the shot clock, especially those shots where you're just throwing them up at the end of the buzzer.
Yeah, and you have a big enough lead there where even if he knocks that one down, although not ideal, you're still up double figures.
Yeah, as hot as Rosario's been, I'd let him throw up that fadeaway any day.
You're up to 13 points. Opportunity to make it 14 now with that final free throw.
Really increasing his points per game average, sitting at 10 so far. Knocks down all 3. Money from the free throw line so far. Forkey bringing it up the floor for the Knights in the full court press. 14.5 to play. Schwartz screen for Horkey, wide open. Driving up, lays it off the glass, no good.
Should have been a goaltend. I mean, one of the Scots had their hand through the cylinder.
Coach Saul running to the baseline. And Ekekeza block, and wow, a lot of ball there. And the lead's still 11 here for the Knights.
It's his second, team's third. Bradley been lying for 2 shots.
2 shots here for Joss Bradley, the freshman out of Saginaw, Michigan. Saginaw Heritage alum. No good for the freshman on shot number 1. Luciano Garazzi, the sophomore out of Lansing, Michigan, checking in as Paul Gady heads off. And the freshman 0 for 2 from the line. Dane Harvey wide open, goes up, blocked. And 2 shots here for Dane Harvey, looking to get his first of the afternoon. And last time in Van Nord, Ryan, the player of the game for us, Dane Harvey knocking down 19 points. Just a huge game for him. A lot, 6 for 8 from 3. Looking to get his first on the afternoon.
Hey man, we still got time for another Dane Harvey 20-point game. I mean, he's got 13 minutes to get 19 more.
And we saw it at that game. He can score, and he can score fast. Dane Harvey, huge defensive asset here for the Knights, but definitely gets open a lot. Backdoor cuts, etc. here for the Knights on the offensive end as he knocks down 2 from the free throw line. 13 is your lead for the Knights. Garazzi, handoff to Bradley, stolen from Winkle. Pass off to Schwartz from behind.
Stay hot.
Good.
The net
Parker
doesn't
Schwartz.
even move.
4 for 4 from behind the arc. Give it to the hot hand, Parker Schwartz. You're in double figures.
And that's a player that these Knights need to heat up. And moving into the back end of the season and into postseason play, if they can have Parker Schwartz this reliable scoring the basketball and have yet another scoring threat, especially within his frame, 6 feet 7 inches tall and really lanky and has the ability to attack the hoop.
Yeah, dangerous. You said it right there earlier in the broadcast, Ryan. That Hope game was huge for him, huge for his confidence. 4 for 4 from behind the arc today. Just let it fly, big fella. 6 for 7, but plays like a guard. And exactly what the Knights need here. Really just able to split up a bunch of scoring. Winkle, Ekekeza, Varnado, Schwartz, and really whoever's hot that day can get the rock. And Ryan, some stats here. And the Knights.
Scots have just gone cold since halftime. 2 for 11, Ryan, since the start of the second half. And the Knights have remained steady, shooting 50% in half number 1 and 50% here, 5 for 10 and 2 for 3 from behind the arc in half number 2. And a solid 20 for 40, 50%
yeah, doing a great job there, Ryan. And the Knights just staying hot. Obviously, the Scots have got to find a way to put the ball in the basket. Something I want to point to, though, Ryan, the Knights 11 for 12 from the free throw line, 92%. Huge. Not a lot of times do we see the Knights shoot at such a high percentage from the stripe, but gonna be huge in those games. The 2, 3, 4 point coming down to the wire, you gotta make them. Knights have definitely been working on the free throws. 16 your lead now for the Knights. Bradley sends it over to Heitzman. 18 to shoot, guarded by Swartz. Spinning, lays off the glass and in. Horky the other way now, 13 to play. Ekekeza left wing. Out to Swartz, let it fly, no, blocked. Gets it off the block, and he'll be fouled on the floor. And Swartz a little bit generous with it there. Not a lot of room between him and the Scot. Wrestler will head in for Horky. And number 22, JT McIlwain, the freshman, heads in for Horky.
An impressive defensive play there to get a fingertip on that shot from Schwartz. I mean, such a high release point.
Yeah, high release point and a very tall player at 6'7". Knights moving it around well. Thought about a backdoor cut there for Wrestler. Varnado into Swartz, fadeaway, blocked
Another
again.
Block.
And Heitzman, the sophomore, getting up there against Parker Schwartz. Pass out, three-point try for Elliott, no good. Schwartz grabs the rebound. Ekekeza up the floor, slowing things down. Drives right baseline, throws up.
Wow.
Good off the glass. One-handed layup there as he uses his left hand to shield the defender.
It almost looked like he stiff-armed in midair. He was still able to create enough separation with that right hand and still finish. Wow.
Almost looked like a superhero flying through the air. Uchenna Ekekeza up to 19. The Scots trying to get something going. Fadeaway, air ball. Wrestler grabs it in transition now. Guarded there from Collins. And up and under the stoop for Wrestler.
Coast to coast, Luca Wrestler joining the score sheet.
Taking it himself.
First bucket for him.
Yeah, Luca Wrestler, first bucket, but assisting on so many out there. McIlwain, the freshman, the other way, up and under. Contact from the body. Not able to put it in on the fast break. Collins guarded by Varnado. Switch off with Ekekeza. Elliott passing over and around to Bradley. Bradley driving against Varnado, 8 to shoot. And a foul there against Varnado as Bradley goes down. That'll come over back to us for a media timeout. And if you're a fan of Calvin basketball, you need to mark your calendar for each Monday night in February. Next month, starting February 3rd, Big E's Restaurant on East Beltline is the home for Inside Calvin basketball. A 30-minute program featuring men's coach Bill Saul plus coaches, players from the men's and women's basketball team. The show airs live on 96.1 The Game and Michigan Sports Radio. You're welcome to join the live audience and enjoy the delicious menu items from Big E's. That's Inside Calvin basketball, starting Monday, February 3rd at 6:30 p.m. at Big E's and on 96.1 The Game and Michigan Sports Radio. So definitely a staple here for the Knights, and nonetheless, just huge for the program, huge for Coach Bill Saul, Coach, and all the men's and women's players and coaches able to get their names out there on the show. And Ryan, I know you're a fan of Big E's.
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice to go to Big E's. I'll tell you that much.
couldn't even let me get through the ad read, Ryan. I heard you over there.
You said Big E's and I got excited.
Imagining the Big E's. I thought we were full from our late lunch. I thought we might not have this issue this time, but you know, we got some big boys in the booth over here. We always got to talk about the food.
You know, I'm sure it's getting old for the people on the broadcast. They're our faithful listeners, but well, maybe at this point, Big E's is going to be happy because they're going to hear it so much that after they come to Van Noord Arena and nobody's in their ear constant but Big E's, and they're like, hey, I want a place to eat. Where are we going? They're going to go to Big E's.
Yeah, you know,
got to give it a try.
Could be an opportunity. You know, we're hyping it up so much. Hopefully, it'll live up to the hype. If you guys are able to head over to Big E's and posting up, bouncing all over the rim there, not able to put it in is Corbin Heitzman, the sophomore. Horky now the other way. Swartz over to Varnado. Wrestler, jab step driving, up and under, off the glass in the rim, no good. Wrestler trying to chalk some up on the scoring sheet. Collins driving, floater, in and out. Not able to put it in. Scott's still struggling to score, 18. And Swartz goes up, blocked. Coach Saul calling for a foul there. And definitely, wow, an interesting call there. I saw a lot of shoulder and arm extension there, Ryan.
Yeah, and it looked like Luca Wrestler was at the spot when he got hit.
Nonetheless, it'll be Scott's inbound opportunity. Swartz checks off. Trevin Winkle back in. Collins dribbling around on the outside, around the perimeter. Elliott in, off the glass, and good. There was Luciano Garazzi.
And the Scots got to do more of that quickly if they want to claw their way back in here today.
Yeah, Garazzi getting some points in the paint here as McIlwain driving out to Varnado, thought about it from the perimeter. Horky, pull-up jumper, not able to hit. Garazzi snags the rebound. Alma Scott's the other way. A floater, no good. Guarded by McIlwain, shot there from Radich. Horky slowing things up for the Knights, just under 10 minutes left to play. Horky out to Varnado. Up and under, that'll be a foul. Varnado will head to the line for two. Coach Fitzpatrick over there for the Scots calling for an illegal screen on Owen Varnado. Pretty adamant on that one. Uchenna Ekekeze will head back into the game along with Trip Riemersma. Owen Varnado hits the first from the stripe. Luca Wrestler, JT McIlwain will come out, take a seat. A huge change here as Rosario heads back in along with some other Scots. Varnado just off on the second free throw. 17-year lead for the Knights, 9 minutes left to play. Radich sends it over to Rosario. Rosario over to Elliott. Elliott driving 8 to shoot. Rosario top of the key. Looking for another fadeaway. Into the basket, blocked from Ekekeze. Ekekeze the other way. In transition over to Trevin Winkle, up and under, and good! And one for Winkle.
Another bucket for Winkle. Filling the lane that time nicely in transition.
And the Knights so good in transition here in these past 5 or so minutes. Dane Harvey checks in for Ty Horky. Winkle looking to complete the and one opportunity, looking to grow the lead to 20. And he does so. 69-49 your score. And folks, the standing updates from around the MIAA presented by NAI Wasinski. of West Michigan, providing all facets of commercial real estate services. And the 2024-2025 men's non-conference, or the conference standings. Trine and Calvin at the top of the conference is Winkle up and under, adding a few points there, up to 15. Hope sitting at third, Adrian and Olivet tied for fourth. Kalamazoo and Albion tied for sixth. Three-point try, no good for the Scots, and Alma sitting at eighth right now. 22-year lead now. Ekekeza driving out to Varnado, shot fake, goes up, under. Winkle puts it back in. He's up to 17.
And wow, a quick scoring run for Winkle.
Huge game for Trevin Winkle, 17. Scots trying to get some movement around here, trying to find a way to get hot once again, try to claw their way back, hopefully into the teens. Spinning is Gad. He'll head the other way. Varnado. Pass from Winkle, and just a little bit too low.
And although the Knights have played well today, that's one area they do need to clean up, is too many turnovers in transition, Ryan.
Yeah, just a little bit sloppy with the basketball. I think getting a little bit too greedy, looking for those flashy dunks, the flashy three-point opportunities, getting in their head a little bit too much here and causing some of those turnovers. But nonetheless, fans, today's Calvin Women's Sports Report is presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union. Graduate student Maggie Farrell, the Calvin Women's Swim Team, has had a sparkling start to her final season of collegiate swimming. Last semester, Maggie set a school record in the 100 butterfly and is currently ranked 4th nationally in the event, as well as 9th in the 50 freestyle. She is a part of Calvin Women's Swim Team that is ranked 15th in Division III. That's today's Calvin Women's Sports Report, presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union, where our members really like earning more when they save and paying less when they borrow. And Ryan, I competed in the 100 fly back in high school, and that is a very, very hard event. Very hard on the shoulders, indeed, and nonetheless.
Well, you know, if you threw me in the water, every event would be hard because I don't know how to swim, so.
We might want to work, maybe not the butterfly, maybe not the backstroke. We might just want to work on floating for you to start out.
I think I could float.
We can give it a try. We can head to the pool after the game here today. Maybe that's where we'll be. Instead of Big E's, we'll be over in the Calvin pool, and Ryan will be floating in the pool. So, nonetheless,
possibly floating. Might be drowning in style. We'll see. If you guys don't hear from me, it might be my last game. Check the aquatic center.
That's all swimming is, though. It's drowning in style. You know, you're drowning until you're out of the water.
Exactly.
So. Here we go now. Scots with some possession.
I just don't want to get my hair wet. You know, it's got such nice hair.
You're just too pretty. You can't mess it up.
Exactly. Don't want to mess up all this.
And Rosario behind the arc. High arcing opportunity. Good for Rosario, and he.
I'll tell you what, Rosario has been a bright spot for the Scots team. I mean, scoring in a variety of ways. Majority of his points coming from behind the arc, but he's looked good today, scoring the basketball as Owen Varnado
and one
says get bigger.
And Owen Varnado making his presence known in the paint. Three-point try.
Logan St. Martin, that's his second.
Mike Morris in for Trevin Winkle.
Man, look at those shoes. Number 23 of the Scots is rocking. Logan St. Martin. I need me a pair of those kicks.
I know,
those are pretty sweet. I'd wear those around campus.
We got some nice shoes on the floor. I'm not going to lie, Ryan. I didn't know if the users at home could see it. You know, Parker Swartz with some bright pink ones. Uchenna Ekekeza with a little bit of color and a little bit of chrome on number 32, Rain Radich right now. Fast break. Uchenna Ekekeza. Thought about a two-handed slam. He wanted it. I know he's laughing on there under the rim right there. And just a little bit too wide. Had to settle for the lay off the backboard.
Uchenna Ekekeza up to 21 now.
Huge day for him. Thought about he was getting a block off the backboard. Dane Harvey gets the rebound out to Owen Varnado. Scots have got to find a way. It's last-ditch effort time here. Varnado handoff to Harvey. Riemersma down the baseline, dribble out Another turnover for the Knights. That's the one downside that over the entirety of the game, Ryan, is just too many turnovers. 5:50 left to play. Knights lead by 15. Radich over to St. Martin. Radich, 15 to shoot, top of the key once again, out to Rosario. St. Martin sends it over to Gadd. Collins, step back three-point try, good.
Wow, the step back jumper's been the Scots.
And
bread and butter today.
I want to go watch an Alma Scots basketball practice because they have got to be practicing those step back three-point tries. Varnado now 18 to shoot, top of the key, pass over to Dane Harvey. Harvey sends it under on the back door to Varnado, and his hands are just pinned to his body. Wonderful find there for Dane Harvey on the backdoor basket cut from Varnado. Varnado hits the first. Wrestler in for Riemersma.
Wrestler checking into the game for the Knights. One shot remaining for Varnado.
The lead now up to 23. And the Knights have done a good job this second half, Ryan, of extending the lead. Really sitting there around that 10-point margin as Parker Schwartz checks in for Owen Varnado.
Number 2, Parker Schwartz.
As he'll head off. 15 points on the afternoon. Scots, Morris heads in the air. No foul call. And looking for an opportunity. Block there. Parker Schwartz thought about an alley-oop there as Mike Morris heads up, goes to the line. Thought it could have been a charge, Ryan. I wasn't really watching the feed. I was looking more for the alley-oop. Did you see any foot movement?
I think it was just St. Martin got to the spot, but got to the spot maybe a tenth of a second before the collision. I think it probably should have been a charge just by how out of control Morris was going downhill. Should have gave the basketball up sooner to Schwartz, but one of those ones where it can go either way.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to a Schwartz jam. I know he can really get up there. Thought there was going to be an alley-oop opportunity, but nonetheless, the Knights 24-point lead. Morris able to make the first. Lead up to 25 here in Ved Nord. Just under 5 minutes left to play. Bradley thought about a dribble drive. Kicks over to the corner to Rosario. Back out to Saint. And a foul there for Ekekeza. Thought about a opportunity for a fast break opportunity. You know, we see that a lot for Uchenna Ekekeza. The steal, the fast break, and the two-handed slam. The Uchenna Ekekeza signature. Paul Gaddy, pass is in to St. Martin, off the glass and in. And a timeout for the Alma Scots. And today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Applied Innovation, where innovation means more smiles for your business. And by Detroit Wing Company for the best chicken wings in Michigan, located in Grand Rapids at Knapp's Corner. And man, they just must know when they create these ad reads for us, Ryan, that we must like the food. Detroit Wing Company, definitely another addition there for the ad read here. And Ryan, a quick timeout here for the Scots. They've got to find a way to get hot, maybe try to find a way to score pretty quickly on the possessions.
Yeah, I mean, definitely have some work cut out for themselves, down 23 points here with under 5 minutes to play. It's gonna take 4.5 minutes of what we saw at the end of that first half there. A lot of step back shooting, shots flying up and shots falling.
Yeah, for sure, Ryan. gonna take a lot, but nonetheless, the Alma Scots are not out of it. Coach Bill Saul knows that. The team knows it. Got to stay on the gas pedal, through in, through out, and the Knights have a chance. Do not want to jinx anything. Knock it on wood here for you users at home. If the Knights pedal to the metal for the last 5 minutes, possibility for a triple-digit game. 4.5 left to play. Full court press here for the Scots. Morris alone with St. Clair on the other end. Foul there on Parker Schwartz. Paul Gady will will pick up that one. 1-1 for the Knights. 2 shots. Knights are in double bonus.
Schwartz to line for 2 shots.
Schwartz at 12 on the afternoon, looking to pick up his first points on non-3-point shots. Schwartz good for 1. Once again, Ryan, the Knights shooting a very high percentage, 80% right now, and that percentage just went up from the stripe currently.
Yeah, been an impressive showing at the free throw line. Doing the little things right.
Huge, Ryan, huge that they're doing that. Schwartz knocks down 2, he's up to 14. Bradley driving around the perimeter. Ball heads to Rosario in the corner, guarded by Harvey. And poked away from Wrestler.
Ball deflected out of bounds, last touch by the Knights.
And the entirety of this game, Ryan, the Knights have been playing really impeccable defense, not allowing the Scots to get too many shots, too many backdoor cuts, and easy opportunities at the basket. St. Martin over to the top of the key to Gade. 5 seconds to shoot. St. Martin fade away, hook shot, and good. A little bit of an old-timey shot right there, but nonetheless, that one will head in. Wrestler coast to coast, double team now. Basket cut for Schwartz. Over now, Wrestler wide open. Trying to drive down the clock.
Dane Harvey.
Try. Dane Harvey. A little long. Love to see Harvey with the confidence out there.
Was confident letting that thing fly, huh?
And Harvey, sharpshooter, defensive specialist here for the Knights. The senior racked up a lot last time at home against Olivet. Schwartz grabs the rebound, headed the other way, slowing things up on the right wing, hits Wrestler at the top of the key. Ekekeza now fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2, looking to extend
Number 3, Collins, that's his first.
his leading scorer of the game mark. JT McIlwain looking to head in for the Knights after the first one. And folks, today's second half is brought to you by Skipper and O-Strength Wealth Management, retirement planning that seeks to deliver the retirement outcomes you deserve. And Ekekeza knocking down his first.
For the Scots, number 25, James Dymock.
And McIlwain coming in for Ekekeza, the shooter. 24 your lead right now. Ekekeza looking to increase to 23 points on the game. Not able to do so. Now it'll get kicked out to Collins. Collins driving, kicks out to Rosario. Corner 3, long. Batted out, grabbed by Dymock, the freshman. Collins under 3 to play. Guarded by Schwartz. Rosario corner. Posting up against Harvey.
And good defense here by the Knights, not allowing them to get anything easy.
Doing a very good job. 2 seconds, Rosario, 3-point try. Thrown up. Dane Harvey called on the foul. 3 shots, and I didn't see a lot of contact there, to be completely honest, Ryan.
Yeah, Dane Harvey's kind of laughing about it right now.
Nonetheless, the second opportunity for Rosario. 3 free throw attempts on the way, knocking down his first. Possibility of getting up to 20 points on the game.
And I'll tell you what, Dane Harvey's a very, very good defender. Very, very seldom you'd see him make that mistake of fouling a 3-point shooter.
Especially, that's the second time a 3-point foul at the very end of the buzzer is Uchenna Ekekeza heads off for the final time tonight. JT McIlwain, the freshman, heading in. And up to 20, 3 for 3 from the line is Jeremy Rosario, the junior out of Albany, New York. Wrestler. Passes over to Morris. Dane Harvey driving out to Wrestler. Wrestler in his face, no good. Grabbed by St. Martin. Bradley, the freshman, running point for the majority of the second half. Back out to Bradford. Bradley back out to St. Martin. Rosario with it. 7 to shoot. Rosario driving. Left-handed lay. Timeout from the Scots. As number 10, Lance Atkinson checks in for the Scots. Rosario up to 22, matching the high-scoring affairs of Ekekeza for the Knights. But really, Ryan, the difference hasn't been the leading scorers. It's been in the support staff. The Knights, multiple players up into double figures. Winkle, Varnado, Swartz, and really the only points scorer so far for the Scots has really been Rosario. Everybody else is around 4 to 6 points. Folks, stay with us after the game for the Big E's post-game show. The best place to watch all this week in sports is Big E's Sports Grill, just south of Calvin's campus on the Beltline. The Big E's post-game show features final stats, analysis, and our selection for player of the game. And Ryan, you know, Big E's so great, they had to give it to us twice.
I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining either. I'm just imagining the pizza, the nachos, the chicken tendies, anything and everything American food-wise over at Big E's.
Chicken tenders do sound quite good right now.
And you had a very big stomach last time we went, Ryan. You ordered the nachos and the chicken tenders. As Harvey puts in
I'll tell you what,
it
it was your birthday. I had to celebrate right.
We did celebrate indeed, as Harvey lays in for another 2, up to 4 points on the game. Foul there. Called on Morris. Plethora of Knights to check in. Ben Hagel, Bryce O'Mara, Quincy Winkle to check in. Harvey Swartz and Wrestler check out. And the reserves going at it here on Van Noord for the last minute 12. Bradford in and out on the second attempt. Morris handling the ball for the Knights. Winkle with the top of the key. 1 minute to play. Morris driving, looking to go up and under. Foul called. He'll head to the line for 2. Morris at the line, hits his first, and Ryan excited for after the game. An exclusive interview with Coach Bill Saul and our player of the game here, coming to you, the first ever player interview here in the booth.
Will we get a player interview these days?
We do get they upgraded us, Ryan. You just got to ask the big boy questions, and sometimes those questions do get answered, so we are able to interview a player. So stick with us as we hear an interview from Coach Saul and then our player of the game.
I'm excited for this.
I'm very excited as well. McIlwain gets the inbound over to Morris. Winkle Pass over, three-point try, no good from O'Mara. Offensive rebound. Hagel with it, 15 to shoot. Morris at the right wing driving. And a foul there called on number 5, Tyran Griffin, the junior. And Morris will head again to the line to shoot 2. That will be Griffin's first foul of the afternoon. No more shot clock. Mike Morris knocks down the first, 23-year lead. Knights, a very high-scoring affair for them, 87 so far. Looking to add one more. Morris, very flat free throw, knocks down 2 for 2. Chovanec handling the ball for the Scots. Dymek looking for the backdoor cut. Chovanec, 13 to shoot. Throws it up. A little bit of assistance there for the band as they were counting down. And the Knights win this one, 88-64. The Knights defeat the Alma Scots by 24. Make sure to stick with us for those exclusive interviews. But Ryan, kind of give us a rundown of what you thought about the game.
Yeah, and the Scots got hot early and just fell off offensively. I mean, impressive shooting to start, knocking down what seemed to be everything and anything, but just got cold and were unable to hang offensively with these Calvin Knights, who started off cold but just kept getting progressively hotter and hotter and hotter as the game went on. And some impressive scoring performances from Uchenna Ekekeza. Winkle, a very quiet double figures as well, but efficient. Owen Vernado had himself quite the game as well. And so a variety of contributors and a variety of weapons, as well as Parker Schwartz staying hot there, knocking down some triples and playing well. Again, like we said, played well versus Hope, and another really, really good performance here today in Vannord Arena.
And folks, welcome to the post-game show presented by Big E's Sports Grill. Big E's is your best spot to watch all the week's games on East Beltline, just south of Calvin's campus. And don't forget, Big E's is the live home to Inside Calvin basketball starting February 3rd. And here comes Coach Bill Saul for the exclusive interview. Coach, congrats on the win. Really great game out there. Kind of some thoughts of, all the scoring that went on during that game.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. We got some scoring. We didn't get many stops. Much better second half. I thought we defended way better. I was really disappointed in how we defended in the first half, but much better in the second half, and we're able to, pretty simple. You get stops and pushes, really good things happen. So that was great to see. Really happy with how some of our guys performed. We got some great performances. Like Chen was really good. Trev really went, and then Parker Schwartz is really taking off here, which is really fun to see, right? Man, he's playing with some confidence. And it's just not offense. I mean, he's doing a great job of defending out there too. So, fill up the stat sheet. 3 steals, 3 blocks. So yeah, some good moments. Sometimes these games are a little tough because give Alma credit. I thought they came out with a lot of energy and really pushed us in that first half.
Yeah, you said it right there. Came out with a lot of energy. Obviously, you guys defeating Hope on the road. Big game for you guys. What's it like to kind of come out to Van Noord after such a big win and keep that same intensity?
Yeah, well, in all reality, we didn't have a whole lot of intensity to start the game, so we had to find it. And again, I think in these games, you can talk a little bit about, kind of that in-between game of where the games are next week. But if we're going to be a good team, we got to figure out how to be able to continue to be consistent, and we'll get there, right? Again, good performances today, yeah, happy and looking forward to what we can do next week.
Yeah, one more question for you, Coach. You mentioned all the scorers. What's it like to just have such a depth on the bench? Obviously, coming in off the bench, 9-10 guys that can all put in double figures.
Yeah, I mean that's why they play college basketball, right? Yeah, our bench depth this year has been great all the way around. And I think that's nice to see different guys step up into those roles, and that has to continue for us.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Coach. Congrats on the win. Good luck the rest of the season.
Hey, thank you.
In 1 second, Uchenna Ekekeza coming over for the interview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Chen, congrats on the game. Just huge. Our first ever player interview, player of the game.
Okay.
Brought to you by Straight Line Fence Co. And just kind of explain like the game plan, you know, what you guys were going in, obviously coming out, defeating Hope. Huge game on Wednesday. Coach Saul, you know, the intensity was a little bit low. How do you come back from that game and come out here on a Saturday?
Well, yeah, we wanted to maintain and keep the intensity. That was kind of the motto throughout the week. You know, coming off Hope, good win, but we always know it's not just one win that defines us. It's a whole body of work. So that was kind of the motto coming in. Yeah, the beginning of the game was a little tough. Alma played great, hit some tough shots, and had to kind of refresh a little bit in the second half. But that was just kind of the motto, just not be satisfied and continue to rack up these wins and play hard and intense.
Yeah, for sure. We always talk about it, Ryan and Ryan here. You always go up for the hard layup. What's that like? So many free throws, so many opportunities there at the line, and just you always seem to have a way to put it in through the contact.
Yeah, it's just one of my goals, kind of just to be as aggressive as possible, just trying to open lanes and drive, and if they collapse, kick, and just trying to draw contact and get bumps and things of that nature. Yeah, that's just always a thing I try and just strive for and go and do. So
awesome, man. Congrats. Thanks for coming over and talking with us. Our first Straight Line Fence player of the game coming over here and talking to us. Congrats on the win. Thank you. Enjoy the Saturday.
Yep, thank you. Thank you.
Folks, that was the Straight Line Fence Co. player of the game, brought to you by Straight Line Fence Co. With over 30 years of building sanctuary and security, Straight Line Fence provides property owners with the privacy, comfort, and confidence of the perfect fence. And Ryan, you know, that interview with Coach Saul, not satisfied and really happy with his response there. It seemed a little bit better in that second half, but it seemed like the Knights did come out a little flat.
Yeah, and you heard it there, Ryan. I mean, not satisfied, but still won by 20 plus. I mean, I think that shows the type of program that he's built, that shows the type of program that he's continuing to build. And anytime you win a game in the MIAA, I mean, even though it was the bottom team per se in the MIAA, it's always going to be a challenging game and a challenging time, and always things you can work on and improve for when they have to face Trine, or when they have to face Hope, or when they have to face these other more talented teams moving forward. And really just not satisfied here, but going to take what they learned here from this win and move on and hopefully be at the top of the MIAA soon.
Yeah, you said it right there. Huge learning to build on those opportunities. And folks, we've said it a little bit, but here's today's final numbers presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union. Remember, it's like earning more when they save and paying less when they borrow. Uchenna Ekakeza, your player of the game from Straight Line Fence Company with 22 points. Varnado with 15. Winkle with 17. Swartz with 14. And just an all-around day. It's talked about a little bit, lessening those turnovers, but nonetheless, we want to thank you guys for having us here on the broadcast, sticking with us, hearing us yap a little bit. But we want to thank you guys for being here, everybody who makes it possible. We hope you guys have a great Saturday. Stay safe out there. Have some fun out there for us, and God bless.